And also I will be putting my big Veritas straight edge over the whole lot. Bring it back to here. Now these, you'll notice, are a thread, and also they have a tapered section there. Dave here, how are you? This is the second half of a video that I'm doing on the Kapex 60. I'm going to go through a couple of things in the video this week regarding the stand and the wings for the Kapex 60. I'm also going to go through a little bit of cutting with it and also take you through the parameters, how wide and what have you, how deep it can cut. And also one last little thing, I'm going to put a square over the turntable, the bed and the extension wings, the square back to the fence. And also I will be putting my big Veritas straight edge over the whole lot. And I'll show you just how accurate this little saw can be. Stick with me, here we go. The mobile stand that you can get for the Kapex, this will take the big Kapex, the 120, the 88, and it'll also take the 60. The thing is, with the 60 you need to get a hold of this insert plate, because on the back outside of the 60, because it has those little arms that you pull out to give support, it can't receive the wings that go on this stand. So the stand, as I say, this plastic insert, it has the holders for the wings to lock onto. Now, in the base, it's got some very interesting things. These guys here. Now these, you'll notice, are a thread, and also they have a tapered section there. So when they're wound into the base, they'll get to a point where they can't go any further because that taper will take up. But up the top here, there's a little screw with a washer. And I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so down in the top here is a hole, and we put this receiver in underneath, which allows me to wind up and down and raise and lower and get the machine dead level with the rest of the wings. This is fantastic. I'm going to put the other three in as well. It doesn't take long. And all of this kind of stuff, you know, you'll be doing it once and that's it, you're done. You probably never do it again. You just keep on leaving those settings the way they are. Why am I doing it up against this bench? Again, I'm going to highlight how good it is to have no space-hungry bars hanging out the back of the saw. It's a huge thing to have this space-saving capacity at the back. Taking these screws out of the top, you know how the other Kapex can be a bit of mucking around mounting it onto this base. This one's a dream. Watch this. Off the feet, straight down, into position. I'm already positioned. All I've got to do now is put those little screws in. Let's get a piece of timber, put it across there, and you can see that there's a bit of a gap there. And put it at the front. See that? And at the back. Beautiful. When I get it to position, I give it a final tweak. Hold the bottom. They're locked. Same on this side. Let's have a look what's happening here. We want to do it so that it raises it up and down. We'll come to the front first. That's it. And then the back one. Got it. Tighten those up. Done. So now straight away I've got a beautiful plane straight the way through. I did mention that it's nice to be able to have the saw travel without having it hit the back. It'll spin around, and if I undo these fences and take them all the way off and flip it all the way over to as far as it'll go, and then rotate, So the furthest out that the saw will be, let's say, is to that knob. I am 770 millimeters from the wall to the outside of the knob. There is 770 millimeters. So that's the part, and there's the clamp that locks on. So we undo this a fair way. You get 3 T-bolts, 1, 2, 3 T-bolts there that go into that little slot, and that's your adjuster to get your length right back to the blade. So this is the right hand side. So that's the right arm, and now I'm going to pop the left arm on. I'll release that back a little bit so I can go in. See that? Leg down. Into there. Release a little bit of slack. Pull it all the way forwards. Okay. Make sure that that's pushed all the way forwards to engage. Then tighten. This is your adjuster to get it level. Now, if you look along there, you'll see it's down. So I'm going to tighten this up. And as I tighten it up, it's going to raise the leg. Put a piece of timber across the back, like so. I haven't lined the one up on the other side. You can see there's a gap there. Beautiful. Now I will release this, slide it forwards. Done. Now this is where we can use do the adjusting. Let's do it. Let's adjust it now. We release that and this and this one. Now I can move it backwards and forwards. Watch. I can push it in, or I can pull it backwards this way and that way. Okay, that's good for straight. Let me have a look from back here. That is one whole lot better, David. Next thing I want to do is check length from there back to here. You're probably saying, Dave, what are you crazy? It's no way it's going to do 2 meters. Well, yes, it will, my friend. Here we go. Let's take it to 2 meters because that's what that rule is at. Done, and I lock that. So from there, should be 2 meters. That's not bad. Obviously, if I wanted to get that super straight, I would put a longer straight edge along there, and then I could tune the wings to it. You only need to do it once. Just get them right to your particular machine, to your particular support, and away you go. They will return to that position always. You can, as I say, you can also move the wing in and out. There is room there for you to move it in and out to get it exactly right to the stops, to the calibration that's on that fence there. That left-hand side goes out to just over 2.5 meters. This side will do the same. That is a total of just over 5 meters in length that you can put on this saw. That is impressive. I'm down here at the table because what I'm going to do is check for square to the fence off the table and also off the outside supports and the rest of the body. I'm also going to check for flat. I've got my Veritas straight edge here again, and I'll be putting it across the whole thing. Now I've got the square, I've got a Gros machining square, which I have found to be the best square that I've got. And let's have a look at that. And I've got the little video camera down here with me, and I'm going to take it through and I'll show you exactly where I'm at. So you can see what I'm seeing there. Now that is sitting on an extension wing on the table itself. And then I'll bring it back onto the body of the saw, and let's see where we're at there. That's pretty good. I've got pretty good light in this workshop and I can't see anything there. Bring it back to here. What have we got there? Nothing really, maybe just a fraction at the top. But these things as well, because they're a clamp-on situation, they can have a little bit of effect by sawdust. But that's good. And then out at this end, what do we got there? Make sure it's square and straight. Well, I can't argue with that. That's pretty fine. Now I will release the fence and take it all the way to the inside, and then we can test there. You see the way it just tipped up? What do we got? Beautiful. And I know at the other side I've got exactly the same. So the turntable and the body of the saw and the extension wings perfectly square with the fences. I did notice when I first started doing a test on it that there was some sawdust that got caught under one of the slides from putting it on, taking it off. It got compacted onto the alloy, and when I put it on first, the fence was leaning out a little bit. So there's a tip. If it starts to run out, check that you haven't got any junk build up under there, and then clean it off with the back of a screwdriver blade or a chisel or something like that. Nothing to scratch it too much, just to get rid of the rubbish. Okay, now we're going to do the flatness. And this Veritas straight edge is absolutely straight. It's beautiful. We're going to notice that we'll have light spots where we have the insert. Now the reason being that insert, I showed you why that insert's down low, down about 1/2 mil to 1 mil. It's so you can push your angle divider up against the edge there. So you've got a positive stop to push that against. So this is down slightly. That's to be expected. So I see no light there. Coming to this one, I can't see any light there. Or there. Now, this is not a feeler gauge test. I can't see anything there. I've got right down here. Now the only space that I can see some light at the moment is in the insert area. The rest of it is absolutely beautiful. Now bring it forward, because it's fine if it's at one point but not at the other. Here we go. Now we're just touching beautiful. Nothing. And oh look, only the slightest little bit there. Can you see it? That is pretty damn fine. Yep. Let's swing her around, all the way around there. Now, man, this is brilliant. What do we got here? That's pretty good. That's also very good. I'm pretty impressed with that. I haven't got any complaints with that table at all. That is true as can be. Just like my other one, my 120. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the capacity of the saw as far as its depth cut's concerned. I did tell you in the first video that it will do 60 by 311 millimeters. You do the conversions to imperial. It will go up to 68 millimeters by using the depth stop over here to raise the blade up artificially, but that's at a cost of how wide the cut will be. It will do 270 millimeters, I found with this machine, at 68 if I need it to. Now, to get a full tilt over to 47 degrees, this is the funny thing. On one side of the saw, you'll see that mechanism there is going to bite into the amount of tilt we can go to the right-hand side of the saw. Is the stop for when I lower the saw down, it hits up under there. See that? That stops the saw traveling any further. So that's one of the restrictors. Now the height of that off the table at 45 degrees is 22 millimeters or 23 millimeters. That's on the right hand side of the saw. If I drop it down the extra 2 degrees, that's 21 mil at that point, which is close enough to just under 7/8 of an inch. So that's the depth capacity on the right hand side. Now when we swing it back over to the left, I'll take it to 45 degrees on the left. We don't have any of this stop section here. Remember what I was saying before? That part there is a positive stop that comes up into there. They say 40 millimeters. I'm going to the edge of the flange at full depth, and I would say I get 41, 42 millimeters there. Maybe a little bit more if I was to raise it up with the depth stop. I reckon I'd get 50. I'd go so close to 50 millimeters, it's not funny. All right, as I say, if I was to use the depth stop to lock the height of the saw so it doesn't travel all the way to the bottom, so it actually finishes maybe a mil or two into there. Okay, for a compound cut, like so, distance from here out to the front of the cut, we're looking at 146, which is around about 5 5/8 inches in width that it can do. When it's at full 60 by 45, if I drop it down another 2 degrees, or every time I ask the saw to go a little bit further, we're going to reduce the width and the depth of the cut. So mostly you'd be wanting to cut like so. All right, it's great to have a saw with all of these features, but it's not going to be any good if it doesn't deliver a good cut. I'm going to start it off with a little bit of melamine, then we'll try it on a few different pieces of timber. I've got it up to the little CTL cyst down the bottom. Try and use dust extraction if you're using these things. It makes a big difference. It has these clamps. You can use a standard clamp on it, and I can slide that in the back and down. Now the lever clamps will also work, but you may not want to have the fence on at the same time. See that the fence has got a bit of height, the lever clamps won't get down that far. So let's cut it there. I'll do a slight little cut across the top and then come through. Wait for it to stop. I do that little cut at the beginning so I get a nice clean edge across the top, because that's normally where timber chips out, especially melamine. Let's have a look at a piece of timber. This is only a piece of pine, but it will let us see how it goes on the wood. Hold that in position, come down with the light, and the light is lighting up the cut as well, so I can see what's happening. Nice. It's a nice cut. Here we go. There you go. How cool is that? That is a nice cut. Solid timber, let's have a look. What have I got? Bit of jarrah. What do we got here? I'm not going to waste this. I've just cut a little bit off the edge. This is a bit of jarrah. This is an Australian hardwood that is very tough. Pop that on there. I'm going to measure it. It is 286 millimeters by 42. So 286 is just over 11¼ 42 is nearly 1¾ inch. I don't want to take a whole lot off because I don't want to waste it. Pop him there. Alrighty, let's turn the light on and we'll see where we're going. I will do a slight cut across the top, then I'll go down full depth. There we go. Well, that's no slouch. That is no slouch at all. Oh man, look at the cut. How beautiful. That is magic. Look at that. That cut there is from my big Kapex, and that cut there is from the 60. That is beautiful. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised. I didn't think it would do that. Magic. Packing the saw up on the stand is a pretty easy thing to do. First of all, we swing it all the way around to the right hand side, tighten up the clamp, push the saw's head down, and on the back here there's a little clip. It's a green clip again. I'll show you a picture of it. And now we have it in position there. It's a matter of foot on the right hand side, down the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to raise the plastic housing off the base, pivoting at the other end, of course. It's on that hinge section. Now I'm going to swing this up. It locks into position. There's a clip there that's spring loaded that grabs a hold of it. Now I'm going to just simply lower it down, and that's it. It's a no-brainer. Now I can put the wings on here. There is a recess. I'll show you that first. There's a recess down there at the end of the wings carrier or container, and it's designed to hook straight on top of the tubing of the frame at the bottom, and then I can lean it back onto there. If you're wheeling it, don't rely on the wings actually holding onto that little spot that comes out the side there. It will do it, but if you go over some bumpy ground, they'll fall off. Left hand on there, and away you go. And I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down there. Give me the thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you later. Bye.